Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Transparently D, where I'm keeping it 100% transparent as we extend our family with love through CNY fertility. What's up, fam? How are you doing? How's your day been? How has your month been thus far? I'm coming back to you guys. I know if you looked at the title, of course. This is going to be kind of a personal video for me. I'm going to do a story time. I've never done a story time before, but I'm going to do a story time now. So you know how 2020 has just been a very difficult year for most people, emotionally, financially. It's just been an overwhelming year. So for me, I think that it is very important for me to be in tune with my emotions and what's going on with me emotionally, and seek help, because I have had a rough life. Everything is not always peaches and cream. It's not always good. I don't always make good decisions, and sometimes the decisions that I make my life harder than what it needs to be. Nonetheless, so I speak with my therapist on a regular basis, and in our conversation approximately 2 weeks ago, a conversation came up about a relationship that I had in the past. And he asked me what was the most traumatizing relationship I've ever been in. And I said it was probably a relationship that I had with a gentleman after my divorce. So if you're new here, I was married previously to another gentleman, and we got a divorce, and no, we're not on bad terms. He's a great guy. He's a great father to my children now. Our kids are all older, up in age. But when we got divorced, I met this guy, and I was trying to think the other day, like, how did I meet him? And I don't remember how I met him, but I met him in 2012 or 13. I met him, I believe. And he told me that his name was Marcus. And that's what, ouch, I went on, was that his name was Marcus. Come to find out that was not his name. But I will get to that later on in the video. Sorry, I cut my finger and then I just hit it. Okay. So he was supposed to be this construction guy. He worked in construction, and he lived approximately an hour and a half away from me. He didn't live in my city. We just started talking. And that led to dating, and oh, you know what? It was not 2013. It had to have been 2009. Let me correct that. I believe it was 2009, 2008 or 2009 when I met him. Nonetheless, so we're dating, and I'm like really into him, and I'm thinking he's a great guy. I need something, he's there, you know, for me. He comes to see me all the time. I go to see him. I have been to his house. I mean, all up and through his house. I'm talking about in his house, stayed the night there, everything at this man's house. And I'll have to check my dates, but he just suddenly like changed. One thing I will say about him is that he drank a lot. He drank liquor a lot, like all day, every day. And I had never dated an alcoholic before. So it was all new for me, you know, and I was still furthering my education in school and stuff. And so I was learning in our psychology class about alcoholism and the behaviors and how unpredictable they are. But I never really associated those behaviors with him, because he's what I would consider a functioning alcoholic. And that's the only way that I could describe him. And but he became very mean, and just like, he wanted me to come to where he was, and he wanted me to get there like yesterday. Like, he's like, oh, come, and I'll be like, okay. So I would go over there, and but like I said, I'm an hour and a half away. So if I got there, you know, if it wasn't like right then, and he would get just verbally abusive. And I can remember distinctively one time I picked him up, and he was bamming on my dashboard, take me back home. And he was just like bamming so hard on my dashboard, and I was terrified. I'm not gonna even like sit here and pretend like I wasn't terrified. I was terrified. And he had never hit me before, but I knew that he had the characteristics of someone who would hit me. And it was so scary for me. And so I was like, okay, I'll just turn around and take you back home. No, I'm not going home. And mind you, now we're all the way back in my city, and he's doing this, you know. And so I was like, I'll turn around, I'll take you back home. Don't worry, you know. I'll just take you back home. And so I turned around and take him back home. And then he was like, no, I don't want to go home. I'm going to your house, and this, that, and the other. Okay, so fast forward. I am in school. I'm working. I'm taking care of my kids. I'm still in this relationship with him. Life is just moving on. He's still this like very unpredictable guy, you know. And one night I get this phone call from this young lady, and she's like, hi, my name is so-and-so, and you know, I have a child from Marcus, and I you know, I'm just calling you to let you know that I have a kid from him, and I wanted to see if you have seen my daughter. And so I told her, I was like, well, first of all, you know, how did you get my number? Why are you calling me? You should be calling him. Let me rewind. Let me rewind back. He called me, and he said that his child's mother wanted to go back to school and wanted him to take the baby while he was in school. Without hesitation, I said, absolutely, you should get the baby. If she needs you to get the kid, you know, while she goes to school to better herself, of course, that is your responsibility. You need to do that, you know. You need to help her out with that, you know. And before I knew it, he had the little girl. He didn't tell me when he was going to get her. I don't know how they exchanged the little girl. I don't know any of that. All I knew is that one day I was on the phone with him, and the little girl was in the background, and he had gone and picked the baby up. That's all I know. So then she called me, and she was like, I'm just trying to see if you had seen my daughter. And I was like, no, I haven't seen her recently. I was over there the week prior to. I said, I was over there, and I saw her that Sunday. She was there, and she was fine with me and everything, but I have no idea, you know. And so it wasn't like a beef phone conversation or anything like that. It was actually a more so of a conversation of a concerned mother. And I am not gonna cry on this video because this is still very emotional for me. And so I called him, and I said, hey, somebody named so-and-so just called me, and she said she's your baby's mother, and she was looking for her daughter. Oh, I'll call her, I'll talk to her, or whatever. I must have missed her phone call, or whatever excuse he gave that he didn't get in contact with her, but he told me that he would call her. I never heard anything else from her. he came over to my house and he was like, look, that's my baby's mother. And I don't play about my kid's mom. You know, I respect all of my kids' mothers, and I don't want to mess with my kids' mothers. I mean, like, he was really like straightening me about his kid's mother, and she called me. And so I was like, well, I didn't call your kid's mom. Your kid's mom called me, and it wasn't like a beef conversation. She just wanted to know where her daughter was, and I had no idea. And I don't even know how the girl got my phone number to call me, you know. I said, but whatever, you know, I understand, you know, I'm not trying to disrespect your kid's mother. That's just not how I am or whatever, you know. And so we dropped it. And I want to try to be as accurate with what I recall as possible from that point forward, because from my point of view, you know what I mean? Because a person's reality is a person's perception is their reality. So how I perceive things is the reality to me. To me, this is how this happened, you know. He called me and he was like, the police was calling me and talking to me and stuff, and I just wanted to get your opinion on what I should do and this and that. And that's because I have at home, in my home city, I have a lot of connections with the judicial system. Judges, lawyers. I'm the go-to girl in my city. I'm just very well connected to them, and my father made sure of that, basically. So, long story short, he said that the police was wanting to question him, and should he talk to the police. And so I said, what does the police want to talk to you about? I'm confused. And he said that his daughter was missing, and they didn't know where she was, and that the mom was missing as well. And I was like, but I thought you had your daughter. And then so he told me, he said, oh, I met her at a Walmart and I gave her my daughter back, and nobody had seen her ever since. He said, so people told me that that they saw her at some drug house with some dude, and you know, I went over there to ask the dude, you know, where she is, because the police and stuff was looking for her, because they were missing. And the dude was like, oh, she don't want to come outside and talk to you, and you know, for him to get off his property or whatever. So he said that he left. Now, this is what he's telling me. I don't know anything about this, but one thing about me is that I don't just go on what somebody tells me. I need to see for myself. So I immediately go in and I start to research names. And I'm starting to look at names, and then I'm looking at all these freaking police reports going on, and these news reports. I'm sorry, not police reports. I'm looking at the news reports, and the news is saying that, you know, the baby's name, and I'm going to give names because the case is closed. The case is closed, and convictions have been handed out, and I'm just giving my perspective of it because it still haunts me, and my counselor feels like, you know, this is something that I need to tell people, because nobody knows this about me. Nobody. I haven't talked to my sister about it. I never talked to my dad about it. I never talked to any of my friends about it. Nobody knows how this affected me emotionally, or my point of view from it. So, long story short, I'm looking at different news anchors talking about it, and newspapers and internet and things like that. The little girl's name was Masarah Ross. That's her name. And in the news, they said he was married. And I'm like, married? Married? Oh my God. And so I talked to him and I said, yeah. I said, first of all, the news is saying that you're married. Oh, we just got married for money reasons. We didn't get married, you know, for love or anything like that. I don't even live with her, and thus and so. Sorry, y'all, this lighting changed. I do apologize. But he gave me some bogus excuse, and they're not together, and thus and so. Excuse. Basically, that's all I heard in my ear was excuse. Because one thing about Donna is I do not mess with married men. Like, I intentionally and purposefully make sure that I don't mess with married men, because I'm going to take your whole head off by mine. You can believe that. I digress. That's another video. So I told him, I said, yes. I said, yeah, you need to cooperate with the police officers. Whatever they're asking you to do, that's what you need to do. He says, well, now they want me to take a lie detector test. I said, okay, you need to go ahead and do the lie detector test. Now, mind you, in my mind, I'm thinking there is no way that this man did anything to his kid. And there is no way that he did anything to his kid's mom. I'm like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. There's no way that he did that, because he was very protective of his baby's mother when he was conversing with me, and I hadn't even did anything wrong, you know. So I know darn well he didn't do anything to the baby's mom, and I know darn well, you know, he didn't do anything to this baby. Like, he loves his kids, and he had a gang of kids. I believe like he had like 9 kids or something like that. Like, he has a gang of kids, you know. And so I was just like, there is no way he did it. So of course I'm telling him, yes, you need to talk to the police. Okay, they want you to do a lie detector test. Go ahead and do the lie detector test. What is the problem? I don't understand what the problem is. Do the lie detector test. Cooperate with the police officers. You need to be finding your daughter. Man, I'm talking about, I'm in church wailing in tears. I'm talking about, my heart is so freaking heavy during this thing. I'm pouring out crying and tears, and I know my pastor must have been looking at me like, what in the world is going on with her, you know? But I kept it all in, and I was just like, you know, Lord, I mean, I can remember, it's a song called Wrap Me in Your Arms, and they were singing that song, and my heart was just pouring out. I'm like, Lord, just please wrap this baby and her mother in your arms, Lord God, and keep them safe, Lord God, and let them come back, and let their family find them, because at this time the mom was all on the news. The girl had another baby that was disabled, and that girl needed her mom, you know what I mean? So I'm just wailing out. I'm just praying, and I'm fasting, and I'm like, Lord, what in the world is going on? I mean, just wrap them in your arms, you know. So then I read another news article that says the mother kept calling to find out where her baby was. And he kept giving her excuses on why she couldn't talk to the baby, and saying that the baby was gone with some family out of town, and was with a cousin and an auntie and an uncle, and like just making excuses on why this girl could not talk to her kid. And her mother's intuition told her, no, you need to go down there and get your baby. It's been a long time. I don't know how long it had been since she talked to the baby, but her intuition told her, you need to go check on your baby. And she came down to Florida. She was in the lower part of Georgia, and she drove down to Florida to get her kid, which is how she ended up in Florida looking for her child, and went missing. And so I'm still talking to him, and I'm like, you know, what's going on with the baby? And then he's not like seeming concerned at all. But I loved him. I did. And I was just so confused on why he wasn't more emotional or angry or concerned that his daughter was missing. And she was a little girl. She was only like 2 or 3. She was a baby, you know. And I guess this sparked up because Skylar's about to be 1. And I can't imagine Skylar being missing. Or me calling her father and he not putting her on the phone where I could talk to her. I am going to have a conniption fit. So I understood this mom. You know what I mean? I understand that she felt like I need to go down there and see what the heck is going on with my kid. You know what I mean? So he's showing no concern at all. I ain't even lying to you. He's showing no concern whatsoever for this baby. And I'm like, okay. Then he says, well, the news wants to do they want to do a interview with me. Should I do it? Now, again, if I had thought that he was anywhere involved or connected in any kind of way with this baby, I would have told him no. Don't talk to the news. But real deal, like I, honest to God, did not think that this man had anything to do with this missing baby. I, honest to God, didn't think that he had anything to do with it. I thought that he was, you know, being honest with me. I thought that with my brain. But you know how you have your emotions, or like your spirit or your soul tells you that something just ain't right. And I had that too, and it was screaming at me. And so I said, yeah, go ahead and talk to the news. Talk to them. And, you know, because you need to show some type of concern for your missing daughter. You need to let them know that you are concerned. So I'm going to insert the clip of him talking to the news right here. And then I'm going to come back.
Okay, well, what do you want people to know about your involvement in all of this? What's the next step for you?
Okay, the thing about with this right here, because it had wrote that was saying that I wasn't cooperating. I took I took 7 individual lie detector tests, which is 2 sessions. So I think that's 2 sessions and then some. Okay, I told him everything that I knew, and then also I wanted to be known that I haven't gone nowhere. My house is still the same place. I'm still the same. I'm still the same resident. So I haven't gone nowhere. I haven't left the town, left the state. Nobody hasn't tried to reach me.
Okay.
And 4 is, you know, and everybody, you know, everybody keeps stressing the fact of JoJo ain't that. He's not that type of guy.
So you don't believe your cousin had anything to do with the disappearance?
Nah.
Have you talked to him since he's been incarcerated?
Somewhat.
Okay, and what did he say what he was doing with her car?
We didn't never get to that. I talked to him.
Why? Since it's been, you know, in the media.
Because I talked to him through his old lady, Taurus.
Okay.
But
communicating back and forth. Yeah. You didn't talk to him directly.
Nah.
Okay.
So, but I know he just ain't. I've been on.
Well, aren't you curious to know what he was doing with the car? Since
I sort of.
Everybody's looking for.
Everybody looking for who?
Ronkeya and Masarah.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I mean, to me, I
don't
feel.
You think that's a big part of why the 2 of them are missing?
Nah. I don't feel like that, because if this is the thing, if it could have went, to me, I look at, if he had a car, okay, he could have been actually, I mean,
because he had to have known something if he had her car. If the last time you saw her is when you dropped off Masarah, and the two of them were together, and you did the exchange, and then the last time anybody saw any signs is when he was picked up in her vehicle. Okay. He had to have known something. I mean, in terms of he met her somewhere and got her vehicle that way.
Okay, he done ran through. This would run through my mind. If it was like, this is where
especially since you hired a private investigator.
This is where I look at it. If he got the car from her on the 18th. Mm-hmm. Okay, then. So if he used her car to go somewhere, maybe even to go meet another chick or
he didn't have transportation.
Nah.
But his license was suspended.
Yeah.
Why would he take that risk?
I mean, that's common. I mean, you keep people around every day driving. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, for him, because I know I was sort of like, I've been knowing him for a while, and if he got a car at 18th, true, okay. But my question is, if he couldn't have did anything if he's locked up, okay, and she talked to her people the 20th, okay, if she and why would she lie to her people saying that she was driving the car? Why would she? I mean, why is she lying? If she was if something was wrong, then that would have been the time for her to say, okay, or something. Or, you know what I mean? Anytime, if there's a phone, I feel like if there's a phone involved, that's the time for you to say something.
Possibly, maybe they had a relationship that was continuing, and they traveled the Seminole County together, and that's why the both of them were there, maybe? That's how he ended up with her vehicle?
Once again, I couldn't. Only thing I can say, like I said, I don't feel like that. All I feel is he had a car trying. Either he might, like I say, trying to meet somebody. You know what I mean? Go somewhere.
Yeah.
But
But he had to have gotten permission to get her vehicle.
Exactly.
So.
And it had to come. I figured, when you look at it, it had to come from her, because or who she got her own keys. Or if he would have took it. It couldn't have been if he would have took it. Then why you didn't tell you?
Are you planning to try to get more details about what actually happened, less in terms of what he was doing, especially since your daughter is missing?
I'm gonna talk to him. But like I say, the greater picture to me, I'm like, if he took something, because see, this is what I'm saying to everybody. I don't feel like he has, because if he would have took something from her, if somebody takes something from me, the first person I see, I'm gonna tell it to. And obviously she's seen more than one person or something. They seen her at the rooming house. If they talked to her on the phone. So if he took it from her, why don't you say he took it? He locked up. You can say, he took it. Why call your mom and call your people saying you drove the car and you got stopped? I don't understand what the purpose of, if that's a lie, I don't understand what the purpose of the lies is.
But even though she said that, ultimately Joseph was found with her car.
Right.
That's the thing. What was he doing? That's the question in all of this. What was he doing with her vehicle? Especially since your daughter is missing.
Right.
Wouldn't you want to know as much details as possible? Let's put Ronkeya aside for a second, because you've made it abundantly clear that there's no tight relationship there, even though you care to help her out and stuff like that. But now we're talking about your daughter. Okay. Your daughter is missing.
Right.
So wouldn't you want to know the details by now? We talking about 2 months out now.
Exactly. Exactly. But see, that's the thing. It's going backwards. You're saying, I'm gonna talk to him, but the thing is, though, she been seen after.
Because it's one thing that the mother's missing, but I mean, now we're talking about one of your children.
Exactly. But see, this is what she's been seeing out there. You know, if they see her, like they after the whole.
But even though you've heard from people in the streets that they've seen her, you have no way of confirming that, right?
Okay, right. Well, I mean, I don't feel like people with the purpose of you know, somebody a lie. You know what I mean? Just like her mother. I mean, just like they say they saw it going into the rooming house.
Yeah.
So.
But even though you're getting all these reports that, hey, yeah, we spotted Ronkeya, don't you want to see with your own eyes that Masarah is
Of course. Yeah, I do. But how? You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Doing what I, you know what I mean? But it's so many stories and so many things out there. So I mean, it's hard. It's even hard to say. They gave me a phone number to one of the guys she's supposed to be with, and I goes up there.
Who are they?
See, I don't even know. I don't even know the guys. I don't even deal in Haines City at all. You know what I mean? You give me.
But she spent a lot of time in Haines City. So a lot of the information you're getting is from people in Haines City.
Well, people that know people. Yeah, pretty much Haines City. Okay. You know what I mean? Because I don't deal in Haines City. You know what I mean? I don't.
So did you try to get in contact with this guy?
Yeah, I sat up there and I asked him, you know, who is yada yada. It's like, well, we don't know him. I said, well, I've been trying to call, you know what I mean? And he was like, so the phone number, I called the phone number and the phone rings. So it's the guy.
Did you try to take the initiative to contact the police and let them know this new information?
That's something they already, their most concern was pretty much with me. So, I mean, and I told them, like I said, I told them everything that I knew. So it ain't too much more that I could.
Do you think that the authorities are doing all they can to find your daughter?
No, I think, to me, I feel like they was mostly was at me. I mean, you know what I mean? That's you know, that's what I took from it, because you know they don't went to everybody in my family. They don't went to, you know, my kid's mother. They don't even talk to my kids. You know what I mean? I don't talk to them. I mean, and it's you know what I mean? It ain't. So I feel like if it was, you know, about my daughter, it needs to be. You really need to look for my daughter. You know what I mean? I don't feel like they're. You searching, you looking at, to me, you know, me and my family, you focusing on me.
How has this made you feel the last couple of months? This whole ordeal, being put underneath the spotlight, being made to feel like a suspect?
Well, I mean, you know, honestly, Jack Daniels done made a lot more money from me. You know what I mean? So, you know, I just started, you know, but other than that, you know. And then, you know, my work, you know, when they see you got a fat picture in the newspaper and it's telling you that, and it's insinuating that insinuate that you had something to do with your, you know, your kid's mother and your daughter missing. I mean, you're not gonna get no work.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? I can't blame them, but you know what I'm saying? That just is you know what I mean? It's not gonna work. Which is
all the more reason. Don't you want to get as much details from Joseph as possible?
Yeah, still, yeah.
To mainly clear your name.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to hide. I mean, so for as me clearing something, you know what I'm saying? I don't, you know what I mean? I don't feel like it ain't never been an issue. When she called me, I came on down. You know what I'm saying? I even did the lie test. They told me it was only going to take 30, 45 minutes, which was initially a lie. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like they're not being upfront with me. So you taking
that test 7 times?
I started the thing. He unhooked me 7 times and hooked me back up 7 times.
Okay. All right.
So I think they threw it by sessions.
Okay.
So, but I done took that and I asked him. He told me all his credentials, and I said, well, how did it come out? He said, well, it's inconclusive, but can we do it 2 more times? Can we just do it? No, I'm not. I mean, that's because I'm getting agitated now, and you're not gonna lock me down with something. You know what I mean? You're not gonna have me, you know.
What's next for you, Lester? How you want to move forward from all of this?
Actually, you know, I just want them to just the surface. So then I could just be done with pretty much her family. Because, you know what I mean? Because before then they act like they could eat my butt. But, you know what I mean? Now, you know what I'm saying? I don't want no more dealings with that whole, I want it pushed out. That's it.
Okay, y'all, welcome back. I know that you all saw the video. Back then, I didn't look at it because I really wanted to believe that this man had not done anything to his child and his child's mom. And I don't want to make this all about his daughter, because ultimately we'll get there. Okay, so he did this interview, right? And this is where the part comes in where I real deal thought this man was gonna kill me. I really did not think that I was gonna live. And my concern was my children as well, because my kids were in the house. So him, his brother, his cousin had come over to my city, and we went out to the club, and his brother had brought his girlfriend as well. So we was at the club, and he was just treating me so bad, y'all. I ain't even kidding. He was just talking to me any kind of way, and I was just trying to blow it off, because I'm not a club gal. That's just not what I do. I don't club. I'm not a clubber. But I went to the club because he wanted to go to the club. Okay. And I still have a picture where I was in the bathroom, and I took a picture of myself in the bathroom, in the mirror at the club. But when we got in the car, I'm trying to remember. I don't even remember why he was upset. But like I told you, he drank a lot. And so when he got into the club, he was lit. He was drunk, you know. And we got back to my house, and his brother and his friend and his girlfriend and his brother girlfriend left. And he just started fighting me. And he was like, you need to make sure you leave me alone. And I just kept saying, I promise you I won't call you no more. Ever. I will never call your phone again. I will never bother you again. Just go. Please, leave, you know. And he had punched me in my eye, and my whole eye was swollen. And he had a gun, a 9mm Glock. And he kept pointing the gun at me, and he had punched me, and I fell down on the bed, and he punched me in my mouth, and I fell down on the bed. And at the time I had braces, so it caused the top of my lip to stick in my braces, and I was doing this, trying to get my lip from caught in my braces. And he put a pillow over my head, and I could feel him hitting me with the gun, but through the pillow. He wasn't hitting me directly with the gun, but he was hitting he had a pillow over my head, and he was hitting the pillow with the barrel of the gun. One way or the other, I got away from him, and I ran into the bathroom, and I locked myself in the bathroom, and I called his brother, and I was like, listen, can you come get your brother, man? He's fighting me. He got this gun on me, man. Please come and get your brother. And his brother was like, man, I'm not getting into that. I said, listen, please come get your brother from my house. He is drunk. I said, he got enough stuff going on with this missing baby. He don't need nothing else. Please come and get your brother, you know. And they straight up like refused to come back. They was like, nope, we're not coming back. We're not getting into that, this, that, and the other. And eventually they came back, and they was knocking on the door, and he wouldn't open the door for them. And then they finally got him out. Like he went outside or whatever, and they took him on home or whatever. And he was just cursing me out, calling me all kind of names, and I don't even know what he was upset with me about. I don't even remember like why he was upset. I just remember like I real deal, like hands down, thought that he was going to shoot me and kill me in the house. Because the whole while, now this is like the next day or so after he did this interview that you just saw, and I real deal thought that he was going to kill me. I mean, there was nothing to make me think that he wouldn't, because at this time I was like, I can remember even after that whole fighting me and jumping on me and all this other stuff, like he still would not like leave me alone. He would just come to my house and pop up at my house and everything. Like we were still conversing on the phone and everything, you know. And I can remember one day he was laying in my bed, and I felt like I was sleeping with the enemy. I just had a overwhelming feeling like I was sleeping with the enemy. And he called me, and he was like, a few days later, he called me, and he was like, oh, the police want to talk to my wife, but she's very afraid to talk to them. Do you know any attorneys that we can hire that can talk to her? And so I said, yeah, of course, you know, mind you, now I'm still thinking he doesn't have anything to do with this. And I'm like, I'm really not understanding where all this came from or what happened or anything. I'm just very like clueless at this point. And I called one of my friends who's an attorney, whom I have known since I was a little girl. And I said, listen, this is what the situation is. This is what's going on, and this is what I need. And he said, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. I told him everything that I just told you all, what happened, and I did not know. And he was like, I didn't know that he was married, but this is his wife, and can you do it or whatever. I gave him his number. He called him. They paid the retainer, and he went with her to the questioning by the police officers. And he was driving back, and he called me, and he said, there is absolutely, positively, 100% something going on. This lady is absolutely terrified. She is so afraid. He said I had never met her, never talked to her, didn't know what she looked like, nothing. He said she displays the textbook persona of a battered wife. Textbook. Like, that lady is terrified. And I said to him, I said, you think he did something? And he said, absolutely. At this time, he had been an attorney for 30 some years. And he said, absolutely he did something. And she knows what it is, and she is terrified to tell. Absolutely terrified. And so I never talked to her or anything like that. And I didn't know, you know, her or whatever she had going on or anything. I never knew what came of that. I know she didn't get arrested, or he didn't get arrested after that or anything. He did not tell me what the questions were, what they talked about or anything like that. So I was still kind of like in the dark. And then he went to jail forgot what he went to jail for, but he went to jail for something, and he was in jail, and he was calling me from jail, and long story short, in December of 2010, the wife, Sharon, finally went to the police. Now, mind you, this man had been in jail on a no bond status for something completely not even related to this. I forgot what, I think they got him for like stealing electricity or something like that, but he was in jail and he had no bond. Now, he had been in jail and she had not gone to the police, man, and let these police know what the freak was going on until December of 2010, which was over a year later. I had to have met him in 2008 because all of this took place in 2009, and then in January of 2010 is when she finally went to the police and told the police. This is what she told the police. She said that she had came home, and the baby was laying on the couch, on the love seat or something like that. I'm gonna attach the article that the baby was laying on the, by this time, let me get this disclaimer. By this time, I'm not talking to him anymore at all. I don't have no conversation with him or nothing. I don't know. I'm totally done with him. And I'm just still reading up on the case. And she told them that she came home and this 2-year-old was on the love seat on the couch, and that he said she was jumping on the bed and fell off the bed or something, and he put her in a tub to try to revive her, and she died. She was already dead. He couldn't revive her. He didn't call the police or anything. I'm like, at this time, I'm a nurse, so why didn't you call me? You know what I mean? Like, I would have said, oh, you need to call 911, tell them what happened, blah, blah, blah. You know, so I don't know if I believe that. I just don't believe that. I don't believe that. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't believe it. But she said that the baby was laying on the couch and he tried to put her in a tub and could not revive her. So this man took this 2-year-old baby and put her in the deep freezer in his garage and left her there. For months and months and months. So while this baby's mom was calling to check on her daughter, her name was Ronkeya Holmes, while she was looking for her kid, her baby was sitting in a deep freezer in a garage. Y'all better listen to y'all instincts, man. When y'all instincts are telling you something about somebody, I'm telling you, it's normally spot on. You gotta listen to your instinct, because that girl instinct was telling her that something is wrong. And I'm sure she probably trusted him because he was like so convincing. Like, I would not in a million freaking years thought that this man did anything to his child's mother or the child. I wouldn't have never called that. Ever called that. Ever called that. And I believe that she trusted him. She was just concerned about where her baby was. She couldn't get no answers. She couldn't talk to the baby. So she just decided she was going to just drive down here and get the baby. And the wife said that he told her to go buy rat poison from Lowe's, I believe it was. And the wife said that she melted it down on the stove and put it in a soda. And I'm going to assume that he forcefully made her drink the soda. Because the wife said that she came into the house and Ronkeya, the baby's mother, was on the floor with foam coming out of her mouth. Even at that point, the wife didn't call the police. She said that they put Ronkeya and the baby in the trunk, drove to an orange grove, and buried them in the orange grove. And that when he got back to the house, he put this wig itching. He put a cord around her neck and told her that he would kill her if she told anyone, and that she believed that he would kill her. And I believe that he would have killed her. I do believe that her fear was genuine. I do believe that she had the right to be afraid, because when I tell you, I was absolutely terrified. And here's the thing, I had no knowledge of any of this. I didn't even know any of this was going on. I didn't even know why this baby was missing. This boy had told me that he had went and saw the baby mama at the drug house, and I just never thought that this dude would do this, man. I'm telling you, like, I never ever thought, I never called this. I couldn't have called this in a million years that this dude would do this to his baby's mother. Or this baby. Not ever. And I can remember one time we had been intimate, and I went and immediately got the morning after pill, because I was like, there is no way I'm having this dude's baby. Like, he is the enemy. And so the wife confessed. The Winter Haven police went to the Orange Grove and dug up the remains of a toddler and another person. At the time, they didn't know, who it was, but it was at the location that she said it was, so clearly it was them. I was devastated. At this time, one of my favorite shows was The First 48 Hours. I completely stopped watching it. I was doing my finals and trying to prepare for my state exams, and everything just was coming at me. Like, I was so overwhelmed, y'all. I was overwhelmed by grief and sorrow, and asking, like, could I have done something different? Because but see, let me tell you something about the criminal mind. They know who will tell and who won't. Because if I had known anything, if I had even guessed that he had done something to that baby or her mom, I would have told police. Just to show as sugar sweet, I would have told. And if it cost me my life, then it is what it is. But I would have told just as sure as sugar is sweet. I would have told. I would have called the police. Especially when he was in jail. He was in jail. That was the opportune time to say, hey, listen, this is what's going on. This is what it is. And so that's why I'm so torn on the inside, because I'm like, I feel like the wife should have been charged. I do understand that she was afraid because I was terrified. I was terrified. But I would have told. Like, you can't have no baby in the deep freezer in my house. Are you kidding me? That could have never happened at my house. It just couldn't have happened. It just could not have happened at my house. Like, real deal, y'all. I would have told. I would have told. I would have called the cops. I'm not even kidding. I immediately, when he got arrested, even if it was when he got arrested, I would have immediately freaking told, man. But he knew that. He knew that. He knew that I wasn't the one that he could tell what happened, because he knew I would tell. Because he knew that I had connects with the judicial system, and he knows that, you know, I have to be real with everything because every freaking body know me. You feel me? So I'm not gonna put myself, I'm not gonna hide no mess like that and risk it all. I'm just not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. And I was absolutely terrified of this dude. Like, so scared, man. Like, so scared, man. He would do so many different things to me, man. Like, he did so many different things to me that I'm not even going into in this video. But like, he did so many things to me that I just was so freaking petrified. I can still, like, I'm a visual person. You know, like, I can still see, like, in my mind that night, and how I can still feel how terrified I was. With him hitting me with the gun and him pointing the gun in my face, I thought for sure that he was gonna kill me. Like, I thought that he was gonna kill me. I thought I was gonna die. And then that next day, I went to school, and everybody was like, well, what happened to your face? Why your face is messed up and this, that, and other? And I was just like, oh, I'm a professional boxer on the side, and I lost the match, or some lie I told, you know. I don't know, y'all. I mean, this is just like so hard for me. It's just like tough. So let's fast forward. The wife told in 2010 what was going on, and they took him and they arrested him. Once they, I believe, got the DNA back on the remains, it came out that it was Ronkeya Holmes and Masarah. And I'm going to link all the articles in the description down below, so that you guys can go back and like read it and stuff like that, and everything. I was getting ready to move out of state, out of Florida. And I came home from work, and police pulled up to my house. I was like, are you so-and-so? I was like, yeah. Oh, we got a warrant for your arrest. A warrant? Yeah, we got a warrant for your arrest out of Winter Haven. The freak you got a warrant for me for out of Winter Haven? First of all, at this time, like, I'm a full-fledged trauma nurse. I'm working. I'm saving lives. Like, this man is out of my life. I'm not talking to him. I'm not conversing with him. I don't know what the heck going on. None of that. And they was like, yeah, his attorney put a warrant out for my arrest because I didn't come and testify on his behalf. I said, testify? I don't know anything to testify anything to. And why would he call me as a witness for his character? I'm not testifying for him. What kind of crap is that? So I said, okay, I don't have no choice. They took me to jail, y'all. They took me to jail. And it was like a Thursday. Yes. They came and arrested me on a Thursday in front of my children, by the way. And they arrested me and I went to jail. And that Friday morning, so they said you're going to go to court that Friday morning, and then after you testify, then they'll let you go. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So that Friday morning, they take me to court. I didn't eat anything. I cried the entire time that I was there. The other women, if y'all come across this video and you all see this, thank y'all so much for supporting me and comforting me and being there for me while I was there, because I never got a chance to tell these women thank you, and I don't even remember their names, but they were really like trying to comfort me and talk to me and everything, you know, through this whole, while I was in there, because when I tell you I was a mess, I was a mess. And they was like, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. And they was like, no. And when I first came in, they was like, no, you never want to sleep on the bottom bunk, get on the top bunk, get up there. So that's gonna be your bunk. When a bunny come in or something like that, they called her, then she'll get the bottom bunk, but you gonna be on the top bunk. And I sat there and I cried on that bunk all night. They came in with breakfast. I was like, I don't want that. And they was like, oh, can we have it? I was like, you can have it. I didn't eat anything, not a thing. I didn't eat nothing. I was just in full-blown tears. And they took me to court that Friday, and I was like, what do y'all want? What do you want with me? Then they started questioning me, and they was like, well, did you help him get a lawyer for his wife? I said, yeah. And they was like, well, why did you do that? I was like, because I loved him, and I did not believe that he would do something like this. And they was like, well, why didn't you come do the deposition? I was like, listen, I'm a trauma flight nurse. I'm a trauma flight nurse. It's not like I'm just a nurse on the floor, and if I don't show up, then my coworkers will have 6 patients. No, I am a trauma flight nurse. So I don't have anybody to fill in for me when I can't come to court. Furthermore, I don't know nothing to tell you. I had nothing to do with this. He did not tell me anything. I had no idea what the hell was going on. No idea. I was so pissed, man. I was so pissed, man. And then the judge, after I got off the stand, the judge said that I could go home. So I'm thinking, okay, good, I'm gonna go home. No. This boy lawyer kept me in jail all freaking weekend long. They did not release me until that Monday. I didn't eat not one bite. Not one bite. Now, I gave all my meals away, and I sat there and I cried the entire weekend because I was supposed to be released. And I'm telling the guards, I'm like, I'm supposed to be released. Why am I still here? I was only here because I was a witness, and this, that, and that. They was like, well, no, we don't have nothing saying let you go. So you gotta stay. That's what they said. And so I said, okay, whatever. I just cried all day, all night, everything. I'm telling you, it was the most devastating, emotionally draining, regretful thing that I had experienced. And so I got out, and I didn't have a ride to get home. I didn't even care that I didn't have a ride. I walked. Yep. I didn't call nobody to come get me or nothing. I walked from Winter Haven, Florida to Orlando. I didn't give a flying rat's tail about nothing. Well, I'm lying. I walked to where I could get a bus that would link me to the bus to Orlando that could get me to my house. That's what I did. So I ended up walking like an hour and 40 minutes. And then from there, I was able to get on like the Winter Haven bus or something. Winter Haven bus took me to Osceola bus. Osceola bus took me to another bus that got me to another bus that got me to Orlando, that got me to downtown, that got me to a bus that got me to my house. And then I heard the conviction. Weeks later, 3 weeks later, he got convicted. So justice was served. It is not the justice that my heart desired. The justice that my heart desired would have been that this baby and her mom was healthy and alive and back in Savannah, Georgia. That's where they were from, Savannah, Georgia, and everything was fine. But that was not the case. That it turned out that it was the bodies that were dug up was their bodies, and he was sentenced to life in the Florida State Penitentiary without the possibility of parole. And I am glad to hear that, because he won't be able to hurt anyone else, or traumatize anyone else. But I am so grieved for this young lady and her mom, man. I'm so grieved for her older daughter who's disabled, that still needed her mom, and her mom isn't there. I am so grieved that it took a year for this wife to tell the police what happened. And honest to God, I feel like she should have been charged as well for harboring a fugitive, for withholding information, tampering with a witness. That's a felony in the state of Florida. Not tampering with the witness. What is it? Tampering with the body after a death, a homicide, or something like that. Like, I feel like she should have been. And if I'm wrong, y'all put it in the comments and tell me, Donna, you wrong. No, this girl was scared. This, that, and that. Just let me know if I'm wrong of how I feel. But I feel like she should have been convicted of something. How do you just get to walk away free when you let a 2-year-old sit in your freaking deep freezer next to your ground beef for months? Girl, screw you. On God. Screw you. Because I'm a mom. You understand me? And if something happened to my goddamn kid, I don't give a flying flag how scared you are. I don't care about that. Like, there's no way I could go in my dang on deep freezer to pick out some turkey and a baby in my goddamn on deep freezer. Man, you gotta be freaking kidding me. Like, you gotta be kidding me. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should say, oh, she did have battered wife syndrome, and she was terrified, and that's why she didn't tell, and this, that, and other. I'm gonna be honest and transparent with you guys. Every single thing I did was because I loved him, and I did not want to believe that this guy would do that. I didn't want to believe it, man. But the bottom of the line is, he did it. He did it. This man killed his daughter, his 2-year-old daughter, and then killed her mom when she came looking for her. How cold-hearted is that? And to think, I loved a person who intentionally killed someone. Oh, y'all. That thing hurt my spirit. I ain't lying, that thing real deal, like really hurts my spirit. And I've held it in so long. You know, people be like, why you be so protective of your kids, or why you respond in this way. Right? But that's because I got so much held in, man. I got so much, man, held in that y'all don't even know about. That people that I talk to on a daily basis don't even know about. They don't even know. Like, I don't believe that he intentionally killed his daughter. I don't believe that he just outright killed Masarah. But I do know and I believe this thing with my spirit that he intentionally killed her mother. And that's so sad. So I am doing this tell-all because I want other young women to know the signs of a man who you are fearful of. If you feel afraid of a man, you don't need to be with him, man. If he's making you fearful, if he is making you do stuff by instilling fear in you, or if you are afraid of him, period, like, you gotta leave him alone and get away from him, man. Domestic violence is more than him putting his hands on you. If he's verbally abusing you, yelling at you, talking to you in a kind of way, making you feel down and stuff like that, man, I'm telling you, you have to get away. You gotta leave him at all costs. And if you're out there and you're dating somebody and you know he done did something foul, man, you gotta tell. Like, you can't just hold that mess in, because this happened years ago and it is still bothering me. And I didn't even know anything. If I had known anything, I would have told off grip. I'm telling you, like, you gotta tell. And so many unsolved murders out here. So many children being molested and abused and all kind of stuff going on. And these women are not out here telling because of their love and loyalty to their man. But no, you can't do that. You gotta tell, man. I'm gonna link all the stuff. This video is long enough. I'm gonna link the articles down below and stuff like that. I'm going to link the domestic violence hotline down there. I have been there. I have done that. I understand. But I got another story time that I'm gonna come to y'all with. I just gotta make sure I wrap my mind around it and make sure this is like something I can wholeheartedly be transparent about, but I just want you guys to know that I know I'm not consistent on my channel, but I'm going to be. I'll probably do more story times. I'm not going to, y'all know me, I'm not doing no hair because I do have natural hair, but I don't know how to do it, so I ain't doing no natural hair. But I will continue to talk to you guys about my in vitro fertilization, and if we're going to do that again, and we have decided that we are going to do that again, so I'll be documenting that, and I'm going to just come to y'all with like real deal, like story stuff. And I posted on my Facebook page and I said, if you knew my real story, you wouldn't be jealous of me, you'll be praising with me. And I mean that, because I have been through a lot. Just stuff that would typically kill the average woman, God has blessed me to come through. And I thank God for that. It is only through Christ that I am still alive, because that night I was supposed to die. I felt that thing so deep and heavy in my spirit that I was gonna die and my kids was gonna find me dead in there, or he was gonna kill my kids and kill me, and somebody would just find us in the house dead. But grace and mercy. People say, why you praise? I don't know why you believe in God. Man, because you don't know my story. You don't know what he done brought me through. So I know this video is long. I hope you watched it all the way to the end. If you did, thank you so much for your loyalty. I do appreciate you. And you know how we do it on this channel. Keep your faith on fleek. And always remember, strive to be on top, because the bottom is already too crowded. Peace.